So you're on with your girl, Sandra, the Actions with Inspire for Purpose. But today we are on the platform of Girls with Gigs. Yes, 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 Girls with Gigs. And you see two beautiful ladies that's on this screen. The thing about Girls with Gigs, it's a different type of podcast platform. With Girls with Gigs, we are women here to support each other, lift each other up, and encourage and empower each other. So with Girls with Gigs, you may see this video on my platform, Inspire for Purpose. And as you get to know these two ladies, you may see it on their platforms as well. So it's not a one-stop shop for it just to be on one platform, but we're here to share, okay? Spread the love and share the wealth on everyone's platform. So I am Sandra the Actionist. I am not the host of this show because everyone that's on this Girls with Gigs, we're all the hosts on this thing, but I am Sandra the Actions with Inspire for Purpose. Inspire for Purpose is an initiative that I put in place to be able to help inspire others. It's basically bringing the vision to fruition. So if you can think it together, we can achieve it. So I'm here to get you clear about your fear and get you moving in the direction basically to achieve your dreams. So that's a little bit about me. We're going to go ahead and hand this on off to Miss Annalisa Brown. You go, girl.
Hey girl, so I'm Annalisa Brown. So a little bit about me. I've been in the Navy for about 18 years now. So I'm going to be retired in about 2 years ago. I decided to, start a little business because being born in Jamaica and everything, I was like, well, one day I'm going to own my own business. There was different milestones that I wanted to accomplish. So at the time somebody approached me at first, usually you hear about multi-level marketing and you're like, okay, pyramid scheme. But not all MLMs are like that because I started with Sensi and it was great because Sensi is actually what allowed me to actually open my own business. And it is called HappyBabyZone.com.
HappyBabyZone.com. I like that. It's so interesting that you say that because I had an online store called Kids Buy You. I have it on pause right now. And my very, very good friend and dear sister, Nadine Barton, because you guys are about to hear from her, she said, girl, you need to keep that store open and make it do what it do. So I said, I'm going to think about it. But right now I'm going to keep it on pause because I ain't quite ready yet. So Nadine, let's hand it off to you.
Hey y'all, so as you know, I'm your girl Nadine with Can a Girl Catch a Break Chic Boutique LLC, recently retired Navy veteran, retired after 25 years. And of course, you all know me for writing my first book called Can a Girl Catch a Break, inspired by your girl Sandra, who pushed me to my limits and actually forced me to write this book while I was going through the most traumatic experience in my life, having a miscarriage. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity with, using my pain to position my purpose. So here we are today and doing multiple things, and we'll dig into it later.
Yes, yes, yes. We are doing it big here on Girls with Gigs. Girls with Gigs. Okay, that's my, I should go into singing, right? Get my daytime job. So I'm so happy. This show today is literally just kind of came about earlier today because we were all on a three-way call, and Nadine is just so paramount in my life. She is just so amazing. I told her on the call, myself and Lisa told her on the call, like I said, when God made you, he must have been especially happy because he has really given her and endowed her with so many beautiful gifts and giftings, and she just shares those gifts so freely, and she just brings beauty to things. Like whatever her hand touches, she just really brings beauty to that. So we were on this call earlier today and we were talking about support, and I know Nadine and Lisa, they're going to share their story because it's going to show you and me, it actually showed me today as well, what real genuine support looks like. So that's what the topic is about tonight. It's about genuine support and what that looks like. And we're going to give you guys here a real life example. And I'll share a little bit of my story as well. But let's get into it with Nadine and Lisa. How did you tell me about your story right now and what support looks like for you guys, kind of how you reconnected, kind of like how you fell off and then how you reconnected and where we're at today. Who wants to start?
I'm gonna go first. Okay.
Okay.
So I met Nadine literally while I was in Afghanistan. Well, I heard of Nadine while I was in Afghanistan through my spouse at the time. He was like, hey, I have this chief, she's Jamaican. And at the time I was going through the whole chief initiation and everything. And he was like, well, this, and this. So I kept hearing about her. So of course, when I came home in December of 2018, eventually I met her coming forward when we actually met, like in December, like as soon as I came home, I actually saw her, like, this is the funny part. So I saw her at the NOS. So she doesn't even, I don't even think I've ever told her this story. So I saw her at a NOS, and I remember there was a business card for her because she was a recruiter, and she was the business. So there was a business card in my husband's car with her little face on there, with her little hair all done, and her little makeup and stuff. Thank you. And so I saw the picture now, and she was like, yeah, that's Nadine. And so the day I was literally probably about April, I was at the NOS in Atlanta, and I saw somebody at the time. She was talking to another chief, which was a Jamaican chief, and they were standing by the door. And I was like, is that her? I'm not sure, but it's kind of like with females, whenever you see another female, you're scared to approach them because you're not sure how that's going to be received. So I called my husband and I was like, hey, I think I saw Chief Barton, which, that's what he called. I was like, I think I saw her. And then so later when we were talking, I was saying to her one time, and she was like, yeah, I was at the NOS. And I said, and I'm like, hold on. I think I might have seen you one time. And she was like, why didn't you say something? I was like, I was scared to, because, it's kind of like when you see her and she walks into a room, it's kind of like she
commands the room, right? She commands it.
Yes, ma'am. So anyway, so as we were going, I started, she was going through her little things or whatever, I kind of came, we were there kind of, there was time when I had to go stay with her and stuff, to make sure she was good. And, we went through whatever. And then I remember when I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this whole multi-level marketing Scentsy thing. Literally, I think she might have been like the first or the second order that I got. And so how she does it is, she'll have you on the phone and she'll just be having a general conversation with you. And then it'll pop up on your phone, Nadine Barton just made an order. And so I was like,
wow.
I can't stand you right now. But it was because she went in and she supported. So anyways, with my Scentsy thing, then she started her stuff, where she's going to tell you about all her stuff that she started. And we would be sitting on the phone at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, coming up with names and trying to what about this? And we're shooting back and forth. Hey, listen, we're going to hit 5 countries in 2 months. Yes, girl. And I'm over there like, she's like, for her boutique, I was like, yes, we're going to hit 5 countries. So every day I'm like, so how many countries are we at right now? So, it's not just about just talking to somebody. It's genuinely being caring and hearing what that person is saying. But anyways, long story short, we're females. And
well, I just wanted to pause right there for a second, because you was talking and you were saying, like, you guys on the phone, going back and forth 1, 2 in the morning, that's some real support to be on the phone with somebody. We must like sleeping and stuff, but to be on the phone 1, 2 in the morning, it's like, that's some real support. And not only that, as you guys are talking and ideas are coming to the board and this, and like she's like on there literally buying your products, so that's that's just Nadine, support upon support upon support. So that's what's up.
Exactly. And it's something that you cannot fake. It's something that you cannot act as if it's there when it is actually not. So I literally, anyways, females, sometimes, whenever we say text messages, they like to say have no voice. So, sometimes something is sent and not delivered. And, that's that communication barrier sometimes where something is sent. Anyway, so long story short, we kind of fell out for a little bit. I think, Nadine, we had him talk for like, a year?
Yeah.
Wow. A whole year, a whole 365.
We were both stubborn, just like friends, family members, we go through things, but the most important thing is getting back after you've been through all those dilemmas and you pick up where you actually left off. You're not back into the picture and you faking it, like, real genuine friendship. You pick back up and you forgot about it. You just like, okay, you forget about it actually. You're not going to beat a dead horse and go back and say, because that's my ultimate thing when I talk about, the book my dear friend gave me when I was going through my miscarriage that I bought myself. And I actually, gifted to a few people. That's called Forgiveness Matters. And if you're going to forgive somebody, you're going to forgive and move on. And, you're not going to keep thinking and dwelling on the situation. So, hey, clean and pure heart is about forgiveness.
Absolutely. Where were we at last night, Nadine?
Yeah, you were here going through your store, and I was helping.
And then what time I left your house? Like midnight last night, because you was over here like, every time she's like taking a computer, let me do it. And I'm like, oh yeah, put the card number. She's like, no, I'm not gonna put your card number. And 2 minutes later, guess who put in my card number? She's like, I'm not putting in your card number. Then next thing you know, but she's like so hands-on. So she's over there like, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, try to figure it out, because I have no clue. She has her own boutique. So now that I've started my own company, like, I literally have to, it's kind of weird. I know some people aren't religious and whatever, so I'm not trying to touch on that too much, but it's kind of weird how
that here. I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people say, oh, the thing is you believe in what you believe in. I believe in Jesus Christ. Absolutely. I believe that he is the one true, the real, the living God. Other people may not believe that. They may say that their God is exactly what I just said about my God. So you can come on here and speak freely about religion. You can come on here and speak freely about politics. You can come on here and speak freely about everything, because this is truly a community, Girls with Gigs, where we are not going to be censored, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people say, don't talk about religion and politics. That just gets people all in a rift. But if you can't sit down and have a conversation with a person respectfully, that says something about you. It's not about the topic that you're discussing. It's about what's going on with you. It's a heart matter. You know what I'm saying? So on here, feel free. You're not going to be judged. We're not going to, defriend you on all the social media. We're not going to cancel you on anything. No, speak freely, speak openly, because to each his own. And that's for all the viewers out there listening. You should be able to speak freely and openly about your views and things. And people should be able to respect that. And if they are easily offended, well, my Bible tells me, because of the God that I serve, he goes, people should not be easily offended, because we should be able to talk and reason with one another. And so that's what we do here. We're able to talk it out. We're able to reason with each other. And whether we agree or disagree, at least our voices are heard. So speak on it, okay? You don't got to censor yourself here.
Right. How they said things happen for a reason. Literally, I think I feel like it's been a year, but I feel like we were touching bases here and there. When we see each other, we were like, hey, and I would see somebody that I know is a mutual friend. I'm like, how's Nadine? And they were like, why don't you call Nadine? but anyways, she came back into my life at a great time. And I feel like, there is a purpose that we serve for each other, per se, because she is a lady with 1,000 ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm the person with let's push this. Let's market that. Let's go find you this. Let's go get a school. Go get your coloring book to these kids. This is a good book. And then, of course, like the first time we got back on the phone, she was talking, and we're like catching up, like we hadn't missed a beat with each other. And then, of course, while I'm on Amazon, I'm like, oh, your little Afro journal, I bought that. So, I love her. I genuinely love her. I do.
Yeah, I love you too, Lisa.
Well, what does support look like for you, Nadine? Like, what does that look like?
So basically, it's the same thing. When you talk about support, especially with friends and family members, majority friends, you're thinking that, okay, you have to, you don't definitely have to buy something. I mean, I appreciate anybody that, go out and purchase something from me, but it's about, sharing myself. Like I'm in a group or whatever, or if I have a group and I share some things, you see like 25 people looking at it, but nobody will say anything. Nobody will comment on it, and nobody will share it. So I'm like, okay, they're watching, they're seeing it, but they probably don't even care about what you have going on, or they probably have their own things going on, but they just shun your idea, whatever you have putting out in social media. But my thing is, support is not about buying something. Some people, they're thinking in the back of their mind, oh my God, do I have to buy something? If I say something, does she want me to buy something? No, I'm not asking anybody to purchase any of my stuff, because the goods, they're going to sell itself, like my journal.
That I bought.
This is talking about journals. I just started diving into journaling, doing journals and stuff, and coloring books. I just did one coloring book,
And we have that one. She was so just kind and just generous, and she sent that to my little guy, and we appreciate that.
He didn't even know I was sending it either.
He needs to get it in schools. That's what he needs to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, so that's what's new on the market now, is doing journals and of course calendars. I started doing little calendars here. And you guys know me for writing my book, talking about my life, but now I want to dive into something else, just to see what's the new trend, what's out there. I guess that's the big thing now. A lot of people they're doing that. But you know, you never, like Lisa said and Tiandra said, you know, my mind, I think while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm in the shower, I'm thinking about my next idea. So it's like, you know, you have friends or whatever. Some friends, they don't support you at all. Some friends, you tell them about your things and they don't reciprocate or they don't say anything. But I mean, I know everybody's different and I'm not, you know, looking for everybody to support me, because you're not going to always get the same support like you'll get from other people. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, that's just human nature anyway.
I think like sometimes people are unclear about what support looks like. I've gotten into, I've been getting into the mindset more of to come to the circle of people that I already know. Because I'm a true believer that whatever I need, I already know someone, they're already within my circle and I can get that. And so my thing, what I'm kind of getting back to is to basically make sure that I support people within my circle. Like I don't want to look outside to an outside business when I can go to a family or a friend member to be able to harness their services or whatever. And if they can't provide everything that I need, then I should be free enough to communicate and say, hey, you're just really not quite meeting that need. I'm going to have to, you know, do some outsourcing, so to speak, to do that. But support, I think sometimes the people that's needing the support sometimes don't communicate that very clearly. And then so people really don't know how to support a person. And so I think it's, you know, you can support like on social media, going in, clicking a like or a love or leaving a message. That didn't cost you anything but time, right? And time is very valuable. We know that. But how long does it take to go through? And you guys know I am horrible. At least you might know I'm horrible on social media. I really don't like it. Even me here doing this podcast is like a stretch, like, oh my goodness, but I'm doing it, right? So sometimes, you know, I'm not on Facebook for days, weeks, sometimes on time. Like I've totally missed Christmas messages and stuff. And people, I'm just like, I'm so sorry. And I'm going through it and I'm scrolling because it's like a job sometimes. You know, I got to scroll through and I got to like, love. Let me type. And I'm trying to support because it's not a passion of mine to do, but it is necessary. If I say I love somebody and I care about, you know, the people that's on my page, the friends that's on my page, then I need to go out and I need to say something, you know what I'm saying, to support them in that way. So I think sometimes support can look, you know, just a little different sometimes. And I think if we can be able to communicate like what that support looks like, what you need, then people may be able to provide it a little bit more. I don't know. Do you guys agree or disagree? How do you see that?
I agree, because I'm going to touch on something, and I think Lisa and I were talking about it. So speaking about
the water.
So yeah, I was just about to say, you know, like you have a bottle of water and, you know, you trying to sell it for $1 and somebody was like, well, can't you sell it to me for 50 cents?
Yeah.
You know, and I was talking to her and I said, you know, you have in this store, do not change your price for anybody, because if you keep changing your price for everybody, you're not going to have any profit for yourself. You know, just like when I started my store and I came out with like the waist trainer, I had a family member come under my thing and said, well, I saw it on Instagram for this amount, then go and buy it on Instagram. But you don't go under somebody else's business and putting stuff out there that you see it somewhere else. Like, you know, K Jewelry, they're not going under, what's the other jewelry company?
Jared.
Yeah, Dell's is one.
Yeah, Jared, and said, you know, I have it from my store for a better price. People don't do that to each other. Absolutely. Business people they don't do that to each other. Why would you want to come onto somebody's business or somebody's product and spew those things? You know, that's just unprofessional.
Send a message to the inbox if you do feel a certain kind of way, but you don't go to Walmart and walk up to the cashier and say, you know, I mean, price match, you know, they do have price match, but I mean, we're not price matching. We're actually trying to actually give a service. And, you know, one thing that people do not know that is when you actually start a business, and I actually didn't know all this, that it's a lot that entails. There is a lot of time and effort and work. And a lot of time, you know, because, you know, like I said, I've done the MLM for 2 years now. So that was the money that was building up for me to get to where I needed to get to. While sometimes, you know, me and her will talk and she's like, you know, the first year, you know, like you're really not making a profit. Like it's about building those relationships. And I was like, you know, that's what MLM taught me in a sense, because people don't buy Scentsy because most people don't even know what it is. They came to me for that product because they know who I am. and they're buying it from me, not the actual product, because they have no idea, but they're trusting you that, okay, she like it, I'm gonna like it. So you have to be, but at the same time, how do you expect support if you never give support?
That's true. Now that's huge. That is paramount. How do you
Exactly.
expect? Because a lot of people want the support that they're not giving. And in order to get anything in this world, you got to work. There is nothing free. Okay. Anything time anybody gives something to you or you give something to somebody, say people think like, things are free because money's not being exchanged, but nothing is ever free. And I say that because there's time. You can't get back time. That's a cost. You know what I'm saying? You can't get back your time, especially when people waste your time. That you can't ever go back and say, okay, I need a credit on this time. No, it's gone. So it costs somebody something. Everything costs something, And so that was really paramount what you said. I'm glad that you said that, because that was huge.
That's our thing. I think that's one of our bonding thing, is because, like we've had other people in our lives that, when they've done their business, and, we supported. And, one of the things that Christopher always tells me is, he's like, Lisa, don't expect everyone to be you. And that to me was the key part that I had to learn, because just because I support somebody and how I support, don't mean that they're going to support me. But you know what? You just got to keep doing it with the goodness of your heart, because sometimes it's not necessarily the people that you support that's going to come back and support you. It's going to be a complete different strangers. And sometimes we gotta learn to venture outside of our circle, because and the share button is a beautiful thing, because your level of friends are not necessarily my friends. So when I share Nadine's stuff, then they see that. When she shared my stuff, her other circle see it, and then now that becomes like technically 3 circles that are now combining and overlapping there. I'm thinking about math over here. I'm like, oh.
But because somebody else that might see it, you don't necessarily need it. They're like, oh my God, I think I might be able to use that stuff. You know what I mean? So, and look at that. If I was, being discouraged and said, oh my God, look how many clothing stores, so many people opening up clothing stores, so many. And, I think I did have that conversation with Cece when we started, but you have to get over your level of fear, and you have to do it, because like we had to ping on so many different people have different jewelry stores or whatever, you just have to go out and you have to make a name for yourself.
That's so true. I shared with you guys earlier about Valerie Burton, who's this author, this life coach. She does a lot of things with positive psychology. And I was telling them, when I moved to Jacksonville with the military, I was in a bookstore. I was trying to find this comparison Bible, and I had to drive across town. It was like 30 minutes one way. And so they said they had what I needed. So I went there to get it. But when I went there to get it, something was happening with the registers. And so they were trying to figure it out. So I was like, well, I'm going to wait till you guys figure it out, because I'm not gonna, drive back and they gotta come back a different. That was just too much. So I just figured out, just wait it out, and I did. And I was just perusing the bookstore, and I came upon this book, and it said "Successful Women Think Differently," and it was by Valerie Burton. And I didn't know who she was, but the title got me, because I was like, oh, I think I'm a successful woman. Let me see what these pages say, right?
Are we related? She has my last name.
I started reading it, and I was like, man, and it was just so amazing. And then like shortly after, the registers came, I purchased the book, went home, I read it and everything. And then like a couple of weeks later, come to find out that Valerie Burton was going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, speaking at this church. And of course I went, right? And people say, oh, it's free 99, because I like to say free 99 all the time, but it really wasn't free, because I had to take my gas, my time, I had to get there, right? So, but she spoke, and it was wonderful. And so when she came out, I had my book, like a fan, and I was like, you got to sign my book. And I told her the story that I'm telling you guys right now. And I joined on one of her Facebook lives that she had, and, people could type questions in the chat and all this stuff. And so I had posed a question, and it's similar to what you just said, Nadine, about everybody has a journal and all this and that. And she gave the whole analogy about jeans. She goes like, my butt looks good. I don't know if it was Gap or Guess or what jeans it was, but she said, my butt looks good in these jeans. You know what I'm saying? And your butt might look good in some other jeans. You know what I'm saying? And so they're all jeans, right? But they're all made by a different company. So they might not like your jeans, but they might like my jeans, or they might not like my jeans, but they may like your jeans. So it doesn't matter if it's a journal, if it's a pair of jeans, if it's an ink pen, whatever it is that you do that you want to make, someone's going to like your product a lot better. And I piggyback on that with Lisa to say, because of the relationship. Scentsy is a nationwide company, probably even worldwide. I'm not for sure. What is it, worldwide, or is it?
Yes,
It's
they
worldwide.
have
Okay, yeah.
Germany, everywhere. Like there's like 6 different zones.
Okay.
Like before I started selling Scentsy, now I talk to them, they're like, oh, I sell it. I said, my God.
Yeah.
Like it's
Scentsy, and Scentsy is amazing. I have some Scentsy products and stuff. But the thing is Scentsy is selling. Yeah, their name is out there, but a lot of people, they're like, yeah, we're familiar with the name, but sometimes they won't buy it, even though they're familiar with the name, but they like the person that's selling it. Whoever that person is, in partnership with Scentsy, they like the person that's selling the product. And so they purchase the Scentsy because of the clout that the person that they have, that they're purchasing it from, because they might like the way Lisa dresses or smile, or they may say she's a really good friend and she's honest. And, if she likes Scentsy, then it must be a good product. I'm going to try it. And even if they didn't like it, Scentsy still made money, right? Because, and she made money too, but they bought that because she's the one selling it, So I just said that because I just thought that was just kind of neat, because that's how, marketing and advertising and relationships and business and all, that's how it all kind of just works together. So support is like so amazing in so many different facets. And I just want to say thank you, ladies, honestly, for being on here to be able to talk about support, because it's really, really real. My last question, basically, and if you guys got, put questions out there, because we want, people to know, but as we're talking, a lot of things are coming to my mind. And do you find, because I know a lot of people say they really don't find a lot of support with their friends and family. So who do you feel in your own experience that you've received the most support from, and the people that you haven't received so much support from?
Nadine, you want to go first, or you want me to go?
Well, I mean, some friends support, not all, some friends support, some family members support, because when I did write my book and when I did put it out there, some people, they support me, and some of them I have to ask. Well, and then after the fact, I'm like, I shouldn't have to ask you to support, so I'm like, okay, but they know about it. So, like I said before, you cannot force people to support your dream. You cannot force people to support your hustle. Because like I posted something on Facebook, my hustle is not your hustle. Your hustle is different than my hustle, so it's up to you if you choose to support it or not. Because even to this day, I still have friends and family members that have not support. So.
And for me, it's been a little bit different. So when I started Scentsy, I actually didn't know I had the amount of support that I have, because I actually thought my support system was a lot smaller. And when I started Scentsy, like the first month, I probably sold over like $3,000 in items from the people that saw my Facebook. And there were people that I knew from my first command on the San Antonio back in 2004 that I have not really spoken to, but at the same time. And then there are people that, like, when their kids are having, selling candy or whatever, like I'm not a fan of eating candy, but I'll say, hey, send me a Cash App and I'll send $10, $15 or whatever it is without actually taking a product, just to support. So when I started my business, there were supports that was coming out. Even my dad is a Scentsy addict now. Like I call my my people that like to buy Scentsy, I call them my addicts, and I'm like, hey, how's my addicts doing? I'm like, hey, the Scentsy dealer is here, because I'm like a comedian. Like you, I think I'm pretty funny, but in real life, I'm really not. But
I told her, I said, I got my Scentsy dealer back. She was mad at me because I went elsewhere.
Listen, we don't play that game. I'll pull up. I'm like, hey, I'm like, who out here trying to negotiate, trying to steal my customers? But even my dad, so my dad, of course, my dad is a Jamaican dad. So I'm gonna touch on something real fast. But Jamaican parents are a little bit harder. Island parents is a little bit harder than the typical parents in my book. So of course, he was like, okay, so you was a professional student, because I went to school, got my master's.
I get that.
My dad was like, okay, so now you're a professional student. Now you're about to be a businesswoman. I said, yeah, Dad, why can't I be that? And then so I was like, okay, cool. So what I did was I took my money and I sent him some products. The next thing you know, he calling me. He's like, hey, I put $200 in your account. Get a boys $75 a piece, and then the rest of it is yours for some Scentsy. I said, oh, you're trying to get some Scentsy? Now he's my addict. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nadine, I wanted to piggyback and on you. You said that we shouldn't have to ask people for support. I don't know if I agree or disagree. I know what you're saying. I mean, because I know you, right? You're my girl. But I think we do have to ask people for support. I know because when we share stuff and we tell people stuff, because I had told a few cousins and friends, I was like, hey, we did like Nadine and I was just on another group project, an anthology with the Pink Business Network, and it's a Think Pink book out there for women in their business stories and things like that, and their successes and things of such. And so we wrote a story in the book in this anthology. And I knew my friend Antonio, the guy that, headed all this up, the publisher and all this stuff, he was wanting to put this together. But he had to ask me, though, for my support. He had to say, hey, can you be one of the authors? You know what I'm saying? And then I came along, and then he said, we need some more women, right, on the team. And I said, okay, who can I think of? And of course, Nadine's number one in my mind. And so I reached out to her and a few other women. And so I was asking for support, but I also know what you're saying. Like, if you're mentioning stuff to people and you're saying, I got this and that, we would think in a perfect, loving, beautiful world that they would say, oh my, this is amazing. Let me buy something. But a lot of times that doesn't happen. So with my friends and family that I asked to purchase the book, right, to make my quota, because we had a quota to make. I said, hey, I wrote this book and I need you guys to buy it. And so I was just straight. I need your support. I gotta, do, and I told them why, because I need to meet a quota. And they were like, yeah, we're happy to support. But had I not asked them to purchase the book, I don't know if they would have bought it per se. So do we have to ask for support? Do we need to ask? Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, what my thing is on that, let me touch on that. My thing is, I don't like to ask people to buy stuff from me because, for one, it's kind of uncomfortable for me, and two, I don't know their pockets. When I was in the, at work and pushing my stuff and like, hey, try some of my body butters. I mean, I sell it and I push it, but I didn't say you have to buy one. I didn't force them to buy it. I'm like, this is what I have, and if they like it, and I'll tell them I have this other sense. This is me just letting you know what other sense I do have. And if you like it, then you can purchase. But I'm not going to be like, I'm forcing you to buy it, in that sense.
She would catch you and your elbow ashy. Listen, like everybody was running, but like, oh, she coming. She about to put some lotion on you. Like everybody, like you cannot walk around ashy. She was about to get you because she was like, she put a little hand in there and do the. I was like,
at least she had some beautifully scented butter. Mama,
yes.
And then they gotta put the spit. They gotta,
Oh, I remember that growing up. Oh, that was
that was embarrassing.
I hated that.
Right? It's like, that's disgusting. What are you doing?
I do believe that you do have to ask for support. And so like I was doing like some research one time and it was saying like, somebody have to like see something about 10 times before they actually purchase a product. And I feel like sometimes family members aren't, and your friends in your circle aren't seeing you per se. But if somebody like a celebrity, which I'm not going to say any name because I don't want nobody to try to sue me, but let's say a celebrity was to say something, everybody like, oh man, I'm about to try this. They just said this place is good. They said this body butter is great. They said this book is good. But then when your family says that, you're like my dad, when I said, I think I want to open my own business, he was like, oh, okay. But then now here I am 2 years later, and I'm still doing my little slinging of my fancy on the side, like, hey, yo, who trying to, So, and I'm not going to give up that because, believe it or not, there's no overhead costs. You know what I'm saying? I'm making money. If I don't sell, I don't make money. If I sell, I make money. And I will be like, hey, you put a little plug, like, oh, I just cooked and my house smell like this. I said, girl, did you try some Scentsy yet? and I slide in there with that, you know what I'm saying? Or you listen, I'll just tag you in stuff, but like, hey, did you see this? So it's like a commercial.
It is.
They're asking us to buy their stuff, but it's the limit. But
they're asking you to buy it outright because that's why they paid for the screen time, for the advertising, the billboards, all. So they're buy my stuff. And
do you notice like commercials are now starting to like, families aren't like families used to be. We're now having like non-traditional families. And now a lot of products that are geared towards family, you now see the non-traditional families in there, where it's like, so now you're like, oh man, that's my family. I need that, because you're now relating to them.
That's true.
But on another note, some people, they will go and buy it elsewhere before they buy it from you.
And those are haters though.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I wonder why that is. Because just like you say, you be having them trolls on your page.
Like, I don't want her to become rich. Like, I don't want her to become rich.
Listen, I want you to become rich, because I'm coming over your house and drinking up all your drink.
You said that money about the Jamaican, dad and stuff. You're right. Jamaican parents are a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? My husband had some kind of gift or some kind of thing was on, and it was like a little joke or something. And it's like about the Jamaican parents, and they were different. It was like this guy telling these jokes, and it was so true. Comedians, they just put it out there. It was so true. I was like, this is too funny.
I've experienced that hands down, so I know.
Well, Nadine did a little skit like on her was it Instagram? I think it was TikTok, and it was like you gotta cut on your finger, and she was like, drink some tea.
Listen, tea solves everything though. Tea solves everything.
You got a gunshot wound, drink some tea.
Got gas. It's gas.
I forgot about that.
Listen, Nadine, you're not selling nothing. Girl, you got gas. You need to drink some tea.
Well, in the military, we can all relate, because with the military, what do they do? Motrin.
Motrin,
800, right?
800 milligrams, solve everything, and some clean socks.
There you go. And you all right.
And some lozenges.
Listen, and you need to hydrate. That's what it is.
Right. You gotta know what take this Motrin.
Right.
I was about to say, I probably have some 800 something sitting around here somewhere.
We call them M&Ms in the military. We call them M&Ms because they give it for everything. Oh my God.
Right.
Ladies, this has been truly phenomenal and wonderful. I have enjoyed having you guys. We're on each other's team. We're supporting each other. I want to say another way that we're supporting another business. On my screen, you see something that says Empowering Growth LLC. So my good friend and sister, Ruby Williams, she is the founder, the owner of Empowering Growth LLC, which is like a fitness company, also a coaching company. She's just phenomenal. And she allowed us to use her Zoom because she pays for this. I'm cheap, y'all. So I'm like, I'm not paying for Zoom. This is ridiculous. So Ruby said, you can use my Zoom. And I'm like, thank you so much. So her name is on the screen because even though she's not on here because she's working, we are supporting her so that you can also go and check out her website. You can check out everything that she has because that's what we do.
Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you, Ruby.
I'm like, thank you, boo.
That's right. We support women, girls with gigs. So again, tell us how we can let us all just go around the house and here and tell everybody how they can get in contact with us. Nadine, we'll start with you. How can everyone get in contact with you?
Well, the easiest way to get in contact with me is I'm going to share one link, and it's called a link tree. So it's linktr.ee/NJB1202. So that's my link tree. It will have my Facebook, my TikTok, my Instagram, my Amazon, my books, my butters. It has everything on one link. So it's a one-stop shop for everything. If you go on my TikTok, NJB1202, and click my bio, you'll see the link for Linktree in my bio.
Phenomenal. What about you, Lisa? How can we get in contact with you?
I'm not that fancy yet, but I'm gonna get there. For me right now, you can reach out to my website. It is called happybabyzone.com, or you can hit me up at support@happybabyzone.com. And I know how to check that email now, so just hit me up.
So wait, Lisa, you really didn't tell us about what is Happy Baby Zone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Happy Baby Zone is a mommy and me store. So I know I have 2 kids, and one of the things for me was there was a lot of gadgets that I wish I knew I had that would have made my life a lot easier. Mm-hmm. For that first baby, when that your pacifier falls, you're like, oh my God. And then after the second baby, you're like, so there's a lot of different gadgets that's on there that can make your life easier. There's also a little spot on there for teenagers because one of my kids is actually a teenager. So, he kind of helped me a little bit picking out some stuff, but he also going to be opening up his own business. So let me put that plug in there for Michael.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah. That's what's up. I was just on here as you was talking and I pulled up your website, Happy Baby Zone. I'm trying to get this thing. There we go. Can you guys see
there it is.
So yeah, so this is a cute sign. This is how we do it. So awesome. I will definitely be checking this out. That's what's up. That's like everything. You guys know me. I have a link tree, but I have not committed it to memory like Nadine. She's amazing, right? Like she has. I gotta learn my link tree because she got me on that link tree, but I ain't learned it yet, y'all. So you can hit me up at www.inspireforpurpose.com, and it's inspire, it's in the present, because right now we are present. It's not inspired because we're not worried about that stuff in the past, right? We're moving beyond that. So it's the present. So inspireforpurpose.com. Again, I am so happy that we were all able to come together collectively to do this whole podcast. Thank you all for supporting my dreams to do this, because this is literally a walk of faith, and me trying to be better with all of this social media. Oh my goodness.
For the support. And thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Nadine. You know, it's Nadine.
Yes, Ciandra.
Nadine, you know.
It's Ciandra, Lisa.
Ciandra.
Yep, you got it.
I had to put it. That's Ciandra.
You got it. I like how you say it. You know, the accent. I like that. That's what's up. That's what's up.
But I do want to say thank you, ladies. Like I said, like right now, you guys are pretty much the GOAT right now. In this whole entrepreneurship and leadership and everything. So, you know, for the fact that, you know, this to me is a major support, because so many times as females, you know, when you don't understand that you're at a platform that another one is not at, and you just keep growing, but you're not bringing anybody else behind you. Like, you know how the military say, train your relief.
That's
because
right.
At the end of the day, you know, we, as females, we need to be, instead of tearing each other down so much, we need to be promoting each other, because as females, we already have so much other things that we got to deal with. So I do want to thank you to both you ladies for this, because this is a great opportunity for me. This is my first one. You know, I had to put my little jacket on. But I do thank y'all. I appreciate this, and thank you for the opportunity. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's one into another. Like I said, this is all of our show. This is what Girls with Gigs is all about. You know, I'm just, you know, happy that God put this in my heart and told me how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we can go forth and do this for everyone. So like I said, you're going to be seeing this on all of our platforms. You know what I'm saying? If they choose to have a podcast, choose to put it on their website, whatever, it's going to be there for people to see and people to grow. So as I always say with Inspire for Purpose, love and light and inspire for purpose. Just thank you guys for being on Girls with Gigs. We appreciate you guys. Bye.